Our next question involves, well, what is kind of the nature of a current modern day step one question? As you probably have heard in the past, step one questions in years past were more of just a fact regurgitation type approach. But now they have become very integrated in the questions as they are written now. They integrate between multiple disciplines. And now you have to use patient history, lab results, physical exam results, and you have a whole history of the patient. And you're now going to be presented with a series of clinical pieces of information upon which to make a diagnosis. So the questions are not just a one-step question anymore, where it's just one single fact is all that's required. But now there are two and three step questions where you have to have one fact leads to a second fact. And then from that second piece of information, they may ask what is the pharmacology involved in treating this particular event or some other aspects of the basic science areas. So again, it's going to be very important to appreciate there are multiple step questions now. Some of the questions, of course, are presented as clinical cases. These are much longer questions with a very extensive history and other parts of the clinical exam presented. And again, you're having to pull together multiple pieces of information in order to make a proper diagnosis or answer the question based on what is being asked there. So again, the questions are now much more integrated and require much more synthesis of clinical analysis and clinical skills in order to do well on the exam. And that's why it's so important in your preparation for question banks. We haven't mentioned this before, but that is, of course, very essential. You should plan almost every day doing a bank of questions. And it's been shown over and over again, the more practice questions you do, the faster you're going to be in going through them, and the better you're going to be equipped for the day of the exam. And your exam score will improve as you do more and more questions. So make sure that you use exam banks from any source you can get your hands on. And the more you do, the better off you are. And these exam practice questions are going to show you about how do you apply information. So again, success on the exam is just not knowing facts, but it's making application of that information. And the best way to test your skills in the application is by practicing questions. They just guide you through a lot of thought processing, and it helps you develop those skills you need to do well on the exam. So again, avail yourself to any source of question banks you can find and do as many and more than many that you can get your hands on. You will perform better if you do.